Real Madrid just pulled off a 3-2 win over Manchester City, and Carlo Ancelotti, ever the wise old football wizard, is here to remind everyone, calm down, it's a trap. That's right, folks. In the galaxy of football mind games, this win is apparently a mirage. It looks real, it feels real, but if you celebrate too much, poof, it disappears faster than Barcelona's European hopes. But what exactly does Ancelotti mean? Is this veteran tactician warning us of an incoming football disaster? Or is he just messing with Pep Guardiola's head? Let's break down what Don Carlo had to say, with a touch of sarcasm, of course. Chup. 1. The trap result. Madrid fans, don't party yet. So, you beat the reigning European champions in a thriller at the Bernabeu. Cue celebrations, right? Not so fast. According to Ancelotti, this is the most deceptive win in football history. Why? Because winning the first leg apparently makes you overconfident, kind of like when you eat one shawarma and convince yourself you won't order a second. Ancelotti basically told his squad, don't lower your arms, don't relax, don't even smile, because City can strike back like a Marvel villain in the sequel. This is football, not a horror movie. There's no final destination curse for winning. Unless, of course, you're PSG. They've mastered the art of treating first-leg wins like prelude chapters in a Shakespearean tragedy. Madrid fans right now, are we supposed to be happy or deeply concerned? Imagine celebrating a win, only for your coach to tell you it's actually a psychological booby trap. It's like your parents handing you your dream birthday gift and whispering, but don't get too excited, we might return it. This is classic Ancelotti. He wins a big game and immediately acts like he just lost his wallet. The man could lift another Champions League trophy and still say, we need to improve on small details. Meanwhile, Pep Guardiola would be in the dressing room with a full PowerPoint presentation explaining how positional play failed because a left-back took an extra step forward in the 14th minute. Winning is a trap? Okay, Carlo, but try telling that to Chelsea. Madrid's Champions League opponents over the last 2 years have been so trapped in their own mediocrity, they've basically been the Home Alone burglars while Ancelotti is Kevin McAllister. This is peak Madrid mentality. Win a match, get lectured for celebrating. Meanwhile, some clubs throw parades for finishing in the top 4. Somewhere in London, Arsenal fans are nodding along solemnly. 2. Camavinga as a 6. The evolution continues. Then we have Eduardo Camavinga, Madrid's midfield Swiss Army knife. Managing Madrid's Kian Sobhani asked Don Carlo how he's developing as a 6. Ancelotti gave a very Ancelotti answer. Yeah, he's great, but he still needs work. Basically, congrats kid, you passed the test, but the teacher isn't handing out A's just yet. Carlo wants Camavinga to improve his positioning and decision-making, which is code for stop running around like a GTA character without a waypoint. At this rate, Camavinga will have played every position except goalkeeper before he turns 23. And honestly, if Courtois gets injured again, don't be surprised if Ancelotti looks at Camavinga and says, you ever worn gloves before, kid? By 2026, the Frenchman might be registering minutes as a striker, left back, and stadium groundskeeper just to make sure Madrid gets the job done. Imagine being 21, bossing a Champions League game, and your coach still says, yeah, but fix your passing. Brutal. This is the equivalent of submitting a dissertation, getting an A, and the professor writing, good effort, but next time try writing in hieroglyphics for historical accuracy. If Camavinga is not quite there yet, what hope is there for the rest of us? Carlo's like that strict dad who watches you win a marathon and says, why didn't you run faster? Camavinga could shut down an entire midfield by himself and Ancelotti would still say, needs to read the game better. It's like a Nigerian dad watching his son win gold at the Olympics and responding, only one gold? What happened to breaking the world record? Camavinga's development is like an RPG character leveling up. He starts as a midfielder, but Ancelotti keeps unlocking new skill trees. At this point, Madrid fans are just waiting for Ancelotti to say, we're testing Camavinga as a sweeper keeper, just to see how he adapts. 3. Could Madrid have won by more? Ancelotti says, nope. After watching Madrid create more chances than an indecisive Tinder user, someone asked Carlo if his team could have won by more. His response? I don't think so. In other words, even if they had played with prime Zidane, Raul and Cristiano, Ancelotti would still find a reason to say, meh, we need to prepare better for the second leg. But he does admit that the team played a very good game, which, in Ancelotti terms, is basically the highest compliment possible. If he ever says perfect game, we might just see pigs fly over Madrid. Ancelotti saying we couldn't have won by more is him subtly telling Florentino Perez, "No, we don't need to sign Mbappe yet." Madrid fans were probably waiting for Carlo to say, "We need a clinical finisher." Instead, he basically said, "Nah, we'll figure it out with what we have." Somewhere, Kylian Mbappe just checked his phone for a missed call from Madrid. Still nothing. Madrid fans, can we enjoy this win, boss? Ancelotti, absolutely not. Madrid could win 5-0 and Ancelotti would still say, "We could have controlled the game better." You just know his idea of celebrating is probably an extra espresso shot instead of a full cup. Real Madrid could win 7-0 and Ancelotti would still say, "We need more control." This man could coach a team of prime Ronaldinho, Maradona and Messi and still say, "Yeah, but we misplaced 3 passes." Meanwhile, clubs like Chelsea would celebrate scraping a 1-1 draw like they just won the Champions League. Ancelotti treats wins like a serious business transaction. No excitement, just results. If you gave him a surprise birthday party, he'd probably just nod and say, "Good atmosphere, but we need to manage the cake distribution better." It's like he's immune to euphoria. His post-match vibes are the same whether Madrid wins 3-2 or loses 3-0. Just the classic eyebrow raise. 4. Was this Madrid's best Champions League game? Meh, says Carlo. Someone asked if this was Madrid's best Champions League performance this season, and Ancelotti, in peak Ancelotti fashion, went full philosophical mode. I don't think so. At this point, we should start keeping account of how many times he says, "I don't think so," in a single press conference. According to Carlo, it was a complete game, but not the best. Madrid fans, this is your cue to argue for the next 24 hours over which game was actually better. This man refuses to be impressed. Madrid could win the Champions League final 10-0, and Ancelotti would still say, "It was a good match, but I expected more balance." Meanwhile, managers like Erik ten Hag would call a scrappy 1-1 draw a fantastic performance full of character and fight. Somewhere, Arsenal fans are drafting essays on why their 0-0 draw with Bayern was technically a masterclass in defensive resilience. Ancelotti has mastered the art of keeping his players just humble enough to keep grinding. His coaching style is basically, you did well, but don't get cocky. This man could coach peak Cristiano Ronaldo and still say, but you could have pressed more. Imagine trying to impress Ancelotti. Dude has seen it all, done it all, and still doesn't get excited unless he's lifting a trophy. "Boss, we just played our best game ever." Ancelotti, good. Now do it again, and better. This guy has won 4 Champions Leagues as a manager and still acts like he's never fully satisfied. Peak Italian strict but cool dad energy. Madrid fans just want Carlo to hype up the team a little. Maybe a "yes, this was incredible." But nope, just another good but not the best. You just know his motivational speeches are low-volume, espresso-fueled perfectionism. 5. Ancelotti's motivation talk, the calm genius. Halftime talk? Nothing fancy. Carlo just told them to calm down. That's it. No fiery speech, no tactical revolution. Just calm down, don't go crazy. And somehow it works. Ancelotti is proof that you don't need to be screaming on the sidelines like Pep Guardiola to be a genius. While other managers are drawing complex tactical diagrams at halftime, Ancelotti probably sips his espresso and says, "Play better, boys." Ancelotti is the football equivalent of a dad who fixes everything by saying, "Just turn it off and turn it back on again." Pep Guardiola is over in the other dressing room, turning his whiteboard into an abstract art piece with arrows and boxes. Meanwhile, Ancelotti? One eyebrow raised, 3 words, problem solved. Imagine being a Madrid player expecting an intense halftime pep talk only to hear, "Relax, don't panic, pass the ball well." That's it. That's the whole speech. This man is coaching a billion-dollar team like a guy managing his FIFA Ultimate Team from the couch. While other managers are pacing like madmen, Carlo is chilling on the bench like he's waiting for his pasta to finish boiling. His tactical adjustments are basically, stay focused, move well, and if you score, even better. Ancelotti's whole vibe is, why stress when you can chill? Seriously, the man is unflappable. He could be down 3-0 in a Champions League final, and his reaction would be the same as if his Wi-Fi disconnected mid-Zoom call. Meanwhile, you have managers like Simeone burning 1,000 calories per game from pure stress alone. Carlo doesn't overcomplicate things. He sees football like your dad sees the TV remote. Keep it simple. Other managers want football to be an intricate chess match. Ancelotti wants it to be a nice game of Uno with good vibes and discipline. His coaching philosophy in 3 words. Don't do nonsense. 6. Madrid's emergency mode, when chaos works. Carlo also made sure to mention that Madrid thrives in emergency situations. Translation, We play our best when we have no defenders, no midfield, and vibes are the only tactic. According to Ancelotti, the more desperate things get, the more his players step up. Madrid's strategy is basically wait until disaster strikes, then turn into superheroes. Madrid FC, the only club where an injury crisis actually makes them stronger. Other clubs lose one key player and collapse like a Jenga tower. Madrid? They lose half their squad and suddenly play like the Avengers assembling for the final battle. It's like watching a guy forget his project deadline, pull an all-nighter, and somehow turn in a masterpiece. Ancelotti's plan? Wait for things to go horribly wrong, then win anyway. No fullbacks, no problem, no midfield. We move, no recognized strikers. Let Vinicius and Rodrigo freestyle their way to a Champions League semi-final. Their entire game plan is, we'll figure it out when the time comes. And somehow, it works. Last year it was no Benzema, no problem. This year, it's no defenders, also no problem. At this rate, Ancelotti could throw Thibaut Courtois into midfield, and Madrid would still win 3-1. Meanwhile, Chelsea has a fully fit squad and still finds ways to finish mid-table. Madrid in emergency mode is like that one student who never studies but somehow gets an A in every exam. They don't panic. They don't crumble. They just adapt, like a team version of Camavinga. Some clubs spend years preparing tactics. Madrid, they show up last minute and wing it to perfection. Ancelotti is basically that teacher who doesn't care how messy your homework is, as long as the final answer is correct. He doesn't stress about possession stats, expected goals, or tactical diagrams. He just needs one moment of magic, and boom. Madrid is winning again. Other managers are out here sweating over every detail. Carlo's just sipping espresso, waiting for the inevitable comeback. Closing thoughts. What did we learn today? So what's the takeaway from this Ancelotti masterclass? Winning is a trap. Don't be happy too soon. Camavinga is great, but not great enough. There's always room for improvement. Madrid thrives in chaos. The more injuries, the better they play. Ancelotti stays calm no matter what. Win or lose, his facial expression does not change. What do you think? Is Carlo just playing mind games, or is he genuinely warning Madrid fans to stay cautious? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like, and subscribe for more satirical football takes. And remember, in football, just like in life, sometimes winning is a trap.